anticipation, yeah.
Well, it's nice to see something different. Something that really started to shift towards the end of Wave 2 was definitely heavier blue, more control, and then now we're at the start of Wave 3, and there's been lots of orange around today.
Yeah,
it's very
so
true.
Battlefield Legend has been dethroned for now.
For now. But, there are very powerful Battle Masters coming out of Set 3.
Right.
War for Cybertron Siege.
And it's nice to see that they're
Right.
Nice to see they're actually doing something coming out of Wave 3, in the finals.
But Kevin's deck, his characters are entirely Wave 1. Which,
that is true.
Wave 1
catch.
is a powerful set. It's meant to
That's
be a
very
base
true.
set, so the other sets kind of build upon it.
Right.
So it's not a huge surprise, but just keep in mind, everything's from Wave 1.
That's true.
Now, I'm sure he's got some battle cards from Wave 2 and 3.
Oh, of course.
We saw that Reckless Charge.
Yeah, we did.
Wave 2.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like William is going to get to go first here, drawing that 4th card.
Did you mention about who's going first or not?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'm about to say I see 4 cards, so.
Yeah, William is going first here.
There is no mulligan rule in Transformers TCG. You got to make do with what you got. William flips Wheeljack, which allows him to draw a card off of Cliff Jumper's static ability.
I'll be interested to see who he's sending Lionizer into here.
Then he attacks right away with Lionizer.
I would imagine he's probably going into Cliff Jumper.
Yeah, as all of Kevin's characters are on tap, William gets the choice of who he wants to target.
Also, it looks like he tried to go for an all-in on RC there.
On RC, hoping maybe he could get it. It looks like he didn't. RC is left.
I mean,
with
we do know
health.
that he runs the one shell stands, one shell falls in there. So even if he could have got him to 7 possibly.
Yeah, I'm about to say he just missed it, the range.
He just missed it by 1.
Getting right into that range would have been a big deal.
Yep.
Something interesting to note, I don't know if you saw William's hand, but he's main decking Dampening Field, and he was telling me earlier through the weekend it was actually working. I was so shocked. That's one card out of everything I've been doing for prep for this tournament. I did not think about main decking, and he said it did a lot of work.
I will say I main decked Gyro Blaster yesterday, and it won me many games.
Nice.
It won me many games.
Wave 3, War for Cybertron Siege, and introduced a couple effects that can kind of negate bold, which is a really aggressive way to attack. You get to flip more cards.
And then
Dampening Field keeps your opponent to only be able to flip 4 cards, so regardless of what their bold is or if they flip more white icons.
Which does turn off Metroplex and some stuff, and Kickback is a huge one because he's specifically not bold, so that does put Kickback down on those cards. So
while the Gyro Blaster that Jaden mentioned is a utility that ups your attack 1, and it makes it so that both characters, when they're battle, can only flip 2 cards, regardless of what happens.
So even if they flip a white, anything doesn't matter. It's always 2.
And it is an absolutely amazing card.
I like that card.
That's exactly why it has no battle icon.
Yeah, it is very, very even with that having no battle icon. Absolutely.
Okay, so William got some cool stuff going on here. He played Confidence, drew 2 cards, and discard 2 cards from his hand, and then played Ramming Speed on the force field. So effectively, looks like he's trying to kill that Red Alert this turn. So then Kevin can't use an untap effect on it on his next turn.
Yeah, it's really the best way to try to handle these card decks. Is just get them off the table so they can't untap.
Exactly. And Red Alert's an easier card to kill. So.
It does look like he's got just enough damage if there's no blue, but he hits a blue. He hits a blue.
Wow.
Red Alert survives with 1
he
health.
lives
That's going to be able to leave him with 1 life.
That starts your engines.
That is super key here.
Yeah,
and that's part of why Red Alert is good here, because he's got 10 health.
Yeah, he's a tank for 6 stars.
10 health, 2 defense is actually very relevant.
And he indeed does have the untap effect, as we can see the turbo boosters.
To have those blues in your deck. Just change the whole dynamic.
It completely changes everything.
It's great because the cards are just good cards in general, and then every once in a while helps you on defense.
It's interesting. He's choosing to transform Red Alert, which I'm pretty sure he had turbo boosters in hand, right?
Yes.
So turbo boosters is not going to be able to untap this Red Alert.
I think he might also have start your engines then.
I don't think I saw start your engines.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Oh, he just wanted to draw a card.
It's really interesting though.
But he's
the turbo booster. He wants to draw a card here. Maybe turbo booster.
I guess.
That and he's going for a kill on the Cliff Jumper here to pretty much do the same thing, not let William use an untap effect.
So part of this could be if he would have turbo booster the Red Alert, he wouldn't have enough damage to try.
He wouldn't kill anything.
But he's got a chance here.
And he has more than a chance. He flipped 3 double oranges, so it's definitely enough.
Interesting play.
It is an interesting play.
It's definitely a turn of events right there.
Yeah. I definitely would say I would have probably gone with the Red Alert attack. So it is very it was a great play. It got a job done.
Right.
So it's interesting to see.
It's interesting. And also one other thing to keep in mind is if his Red Alert were in alt mode, in the car mode. If it were to be KO'd, it would trigger Prowl's effect to maybe heal 4 off of that RC.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so a couple things I'm foreseeing for the next couple turns. I see Kevin has a bashing shield in his hand for that. That's kind of just like a war of attrition. You can't really stop, your opponent having the
So
the
bashing
shield,
shield and force field are very interesting. Force field was a real game-defining
love-hate
card
relationship.
in the first set, and then the answer came in bashing shield.
Right.
But if you think about it, if your opponent spends their time bashing shield your force field, that does also mean they're not playing something like a grenade launcher, right? So there's a little bit of a trade-off there.
Yeah, a lot of people really fear sometimes playing a force field when they know their opponent has a bashing shield, but like you said, it still takes their upgrade for the turn.
Exactly.
And does push them back a little bit. So
they're not playing grenade launcher.
They're
not playing erratic lightning.
It won't be a total killer. But in others, like where you already have a weapon, well, then it's going to be perfect timing.
Absolutely. So I'd say this Wheeljack got in for a crazy amount of damage.
If what I'm looking at is correct, it looks like he...
Oh, so he KO'd Cliff Jumper, so he's going to repair RC with Prowl's effect like we thought.
Yep.
Now that's...
You can repair anybody? Or I thought
you
I
can
had
repair anybody.
I thought I had to repair a car.
It's one of your other characters.
One of your other characters.
As long as a car
is KO'd. Very relevant.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, yeah, and he repaired it for 3. My apologies. There was once upon a time where Prowl's ability repaired for me.
Oh, okay.
It's probably good he went down to 3.
That is so relevant. I did not even. I thought it had to be a card that was repaired.
No, it's not.
I guess I'm thinking of that because I usually only see him in a straight cards deck, so maybe that was what it was.
Yep,
so he doesn't have it here, but Start Your Engines would be a fantastic play here. You could untap Red Alert, then use Prowl's ult mode ability to get both Prowl and Red Alert. That would be...
Say it looks like he's going to be going here for the Turbo Booster play by flipping him over and getting him back into that car mode.
He knows William doesn't have a ton of blue, so getting this extra attack will be really important.
I mean, the thing is that, the William will have to go back into the Red Alert if he does go for this play.
And then also, in William's hand, he's got Bolster.
He does have Bolster.
I played that card in my version 2 of my deck, and I could never get it to go off, but looking at it now, he has the combo in his hand, which is nice. And that card helps so much, and that's the part where you can combat the orange mirror match. Mirror matches.
The really interesting part is that he chose to go and play it here. The force field actually won't matter when William goes back into that Red Alert because he already has 9 damage on Red Alert.
Yeah, that's true.
If Red Alert's so he's going to be attacking out because Wheeljack.
Oh yeah.
So,
he is
so
swinging
he might
all
not.
out.
He might not want to swing on.
That's true. And I will admit, based on play, you would probably not assume that is a bolster that's facing.
Oh, yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
That's the
you're right
because
I'm saying
action.
So he can attack whoever
what
next turn.
Does is it's a secret action that triggers when your opponent attacks, and it allows you. Well, actually, when one of your characters defends, it allows you to play an armor from your hand, and what that does is let you play an armor in a time where Bashing Shield can't take care of it, so you can guarantee.
You can guarantee the force field. Well, you can also. I mean, there's any armor that you're allowed to play with it, which is awesome. It's not restricted to a specific pip color or anything like that. You obviously still have to check to make sure that it can go onto that character, but. Yeah, being able to sneak out force fields is a really, really amazing combo with that card.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing.
There's nothing you can do
be sad about
except
it.
Maybe if you could deal with that secret action, but I don't think there's any way to do that right now.
I mean, I guess there's a simple semi counter. If you can play a direct damage card to put them in the range where the 4 damage would kill the character anyway.
There are other
you anticipate
mitigation factors like maybe using a different character to attack with.
Right.
Espionage.
Espionage.
To
that's a big one actually.
Disruptive, or not disruptive entrance. The other one that I can't remember right now, but that discards a upgrade from their hand.
Disruption.
It's
an orange card going on a ranged character. You get to remove an upgrade from their hand.
Oh no, not. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I guess security checkpoint works too, but that's obviously in a blue deck. But usually.
Wheeljack survived those 3 attacks.
I wonder if Kevin's playing any one-shots. Have we seen any one-shots from Kevin?
I have not seen any one-shots from Kevin.
So that's good for William then, because he can.
Not really seeing any no battle outcome cards in Kevin's hand, so he might have a little bit of a flip advantage as a result.
Yeah. It also seems like his deck is already pretty packed in, and he already added 3 turbo boosters and 3 start your engine, so that took a lot of space in there too.
But even in this situation, though, William's still in a bad position because he can send Lionizer in to kill the Red Alert, but he may need to potentially go kill Prowl or RC this turn because...
Or at least give it a shot, right?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of tough. I don't know if Red Alert's probably not the best target.
Yeah, it looks like he is going into RC, and this is going to trigger
that's big. That's big.
It's going to be huge.
William's opportunity there was he could attack Red Alert, which would allow the bolster to be useless. That was his opportunity.
Yes.
If he thought it was a bolster, he had that opportunity to outplay Kevin in a way.
Right,
He might
right.
not have done enough, but he would have outplayed him a little bit.
Right,
Oh,
right, right.
absolutely, yeah.
But
He did play right into Kevin's
went
plan
right
there.
into it.
Went right into it. Which it is the correct play. So
Probably.
unless you call that it's a bolster, he definitely made the correct play, but he definitely
Yeah,
got
so
hit
I
with
guess
that
if he knew
super-
it was
would've been a
bolster, he
tough
could have just
read.
attacked Red Alert
Yeah.
and just
it
got
would
it
have
out of
been a
there.
really tough read.
Yeah. I like the trickery. I like it. It makes you think more. I'm a
Absolutely.
fan. I'm a fan.
Well, in War for Cybertron Siege, it's total war, and sometimes you gotta use tricky tactics.
Right.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Take advantage.
So William, he's got. Well, actually, we talked a lot about how you want to kill or KO that Battle Master, right?
Absolutely.
But Kevin's kind of avoided it here, but it seems to be working.
It works
for
out,
him.
yeah.
yeah, it's working out for
Especially
him.
because he lost the character early. William, I think that
Yeah.
takes a lot of momentum away with the untap effects and everything.
Yeah.
Slows down a lot.
The other advantage is he's still 3 wide at this point, so even if William did go for the Piece of Eternity turn, he could probably only max KO 2 characters, and the
Yep.
Wheeljack only has a few health left to try to survive, and it probably won't happen. So.
Right.
Yeah, I think the best use of that Lionizer at this point is just to finish off characters like Red
Yeah.
Alert, right?
Now if William can get him down to a 2 versus 2 scenario, and then he gets the Piece of Eternity on the Lionizer, it'll be an easy win for him at that point. But with it being 3 wide, he's still a little at disadvantage for character count.
Yeah, that blue on that Red Alert early game
Was
made a
very
big
important.
difference.
Very
Yeah.
important.
It's huge.
Yeah. We can see that was 2 turns ago, and Red Alert is still around.
He's still,
You know?
he's still
Right.
around. Just doing damage.
Yep.
Even like Zap here to kill it and then go after one of the other characters
Would be
might
very-
not be enough,
But
unfortunately.
is William even playing it? Does he respect
Yeah,
his
no,
Zap?
it looks like it looks like he's getting ready just to send it into the Red Alert, which is why he flipped back to the other mode to pick up another armor for the
Right.
turn.
Grab another armor. That's smart. He's gonna have 3 armor with that bashing shield. He doesn't need the extra bold from the bot mode to take out Red Alert here.
Oh, yeah,
And
then-
Red Alert's the only character you can attack. So
Yeah, not with that saber equipped, he's gonna be able to do more than enough damage. To
Where's the
get it done.
steamroll? Hashtag. That's the second time I've said this as a fan.
Yep.
a steamroll there. would
Steamroll's
have
a card.
been-
I played Steamroll in my first version of this with the wheel like bolt.
Yeah.
Now that's when I would put the saber on Wheeljack. Bolt 7 with a Steamroll.
Yeah.
And that
Turns
card
him
was
into a big
designed
Grimlock.
to benefit characters that get the really high attack numbers.
Right.
'Cause sometimes it doesn't matter. You're just going to KO the one character.
Yeah.
But something like Steamroll or Grimlock,
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
allows you to
exactly.
really take advantage
I
of.
was gonna say, what's the point in what's the point in bragging that you got to 20 when you only needed 10? You know what I mean? Do something else with that extra damage.
Yeah, or like in this scenario where he just attacked for probably 15, 16
Right.
with Wheeljack and was only needing to get in 1 damage.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah,
Right.
if he could have stayed on that bot mode and then basically guaranteed the
Yep.
KO on Red Alert and then probably RC.
Yeah, so RC here is getting bold 6 off
Yeah.
of that,
And that'll be-
which is going to be.
Was that a heat of battle?
It was a heat of battle
Oh,
that he
geez.
played,
So
yeah.
bold 3 on everybody.
Yep.
Oh, geez.
And,
Yeah.
and it really
That's-
doesn't help William getting that tough 3 because he obviously doesn't run any blues
Right.
on his list. So, it's,
So
I think Structure Vengeance is the
Yeah.
only blue card he does play.
Heat of,
Yeah.
Heat of Battle gives all characters in play bold 3 and tough 3. So if your opponent's playing a blue deck, it's going to be mitigated. They're going to get tough 3 to pair against your bold 3.
Right.
But in an aggressive matchup like this, he's just taking total advantage of it. He's got multiple characters he gets to attack with, so they're both going to get bold 3 because he's got the character advantage.
yeah, absolutely. One thing
Yeah,
I was
Heat of
running
Battle is
today,
very strong.
which was pretty brutal, is I was running Warpath with Heat of Battle.
Oh,
So it turns off my
that's a
opponent's
sweet
tough, and then I
combo.
just
That's
I
sick.
just get both
I
3.
saw your friend do that earlier.
Yeah.
Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Yep. That was pretty good.
Warpath turns off the tough on the opponent's side,
You
so
keep
it's
your
just
bold.
3 for you. And
Yep.
I
Right.
think, Jamie, your deck was also 4 wide.
I was
right?
4
So it
wide
had
as well.
opportunities
Yeah.
for multiple
Yep,
attacks.
yep.
Very
Especially
nice.
if it went up against another 3 wide and I made them go first, I would usually get 2 characters that are getting bold 3, and then again, it just turns off their
That's-
tough.
Right.
That's
So,
huge.
yeah.
Few cards can compare to that sort of damage output.
It is. It's a lot. Yeah.
Does that deck have what decks don't that deck like to face? Like what is this
Insecticons.
bad matchup? Insecticons bad,
yeah.
even though you're 4 wide.
Yeah, just because they're 4 wide still, it makes it
More
very awkward with the attacks and stuff like
Right,
that. So
right.
it gets pretty interesting. But
And then
And,
kickback still knocks out somebody,
Yeah.
one shot
Warpath
and
is
all
still a
that.
little fragile, right? He's got
so I
8
run
effective health.
Fireflight in the lift,
Oh,
so
you
they
also-
have
Oh.
to go through Fireflight
Okay.
first. It really allows that protection on him because he is so fragile.
Right.
When we tested it out, he all the time was just getting 1 shot early game, especially when the opponent was on blue.
Yep.
So we threw in Fireflight as that other character to protect him because he has the Brave, and that makes the opponent have to attack into him first. So
Yes. Fireflight is a 5-star character from Wave 2, part of the Aerial Bots team. but is often played off the aerial bots team because of what Jamie said. He has Brave.
Yep.
They have to attack him first, and he's a cheaper character. Just 5 stars.
Yeah, he had 5 stars, and he's got 7 health, 2 armor, and most people can't go through 9 damage on their first turn without playing any upgrades or actions, so he usually has to take 2 attacks, which is really important.
If you have somebody, another character that you really need to protect because your game plan's based around them, something like Fireflight really can help there.
Yep, absolutely.
So for anticipation for game 2, William gets to decide who goes first. And the question for you guys, what do you think William's going to decide? Because this is a little awkward. He's never, most likely, ever played against this deck before. So there's no telling exactly which is one.
William needs to go second.
I
agree.
Get those. He knows he plays Heated Battle now. You just mentioned about, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Plus, it then essentially makes him go first. And no matter who he really throws, William then gets a pretty nice chunk into pretty much any of his characters.
Right. I think something that was not talked about at all from Wave 1 and Wave 2 was about going. Normally, whenever you won a dice roll, it was automatically, I'll start. You always hear people saying, I'll go first. Wave 3, I think, really introduced the tactic of actually not going first sometimes if you have the choice.
It makes a huge difference,
Right.
Yeah, that was something we were really pleased about when designing. I mean, it happens in Wave 1 too. We were like, well, I'm not sure if I want to go first or second. And that is not very common in a trading card game.
No, absolutely. Yeah, most people always want to go first. There's a lot of advantages, but the way that it's been balanced out with this game is that there are advantages to going first, and then there are also disadvantages to going first. So.
Right. It depends on your deck and your build. You got to know those things too. And if you're in a position where you're like, I don't know, it's not good. But
if William goes second, he has the opportunity. Kevin will likely attack with his Red Alert because he's the kind of the beefiest one, most likely to survive an attack. And then if that gives William a chance to play a card and maybe KO that Red Alert to keep him from using any sort of untap effect on it.
Right.
And to just really start creating his own tempo and just chopping off those 4 characters.
Right.
Because that's what he needs to do. He needs to get rid of a character as soon as possible.
Yeah, these first couple turns are going to be very important.
And like I was saying earlier about just being able to get the card advantage in this matchup with Cliffjumper being able to draw so many cards. It is interesting that he is throwing Cliffjumper here first into Wheeljack.
I think I forgot that Cliffjumper is actually the beefiest one, the most likely to survive.
Yes, he is the most likely to survive.
12 health, 2 attack.
And then we know that Kevin is running blues in his list. So
now I can't tell if that double orange that was milled was mounted missiles, but if it is, if William has if he has a upgrade to play, he can play it to use Wheeljacks, and he's not doing it. Okay. Well, if he has a weapon in the scrap pile, what I'm saying is he can go at Cliffjumper now and get rid of it. And that's big, because Kevin did that obviously because he has an untap effect. He sends out his best character. Oh, but that's not happening. Huh.
Yeah, no, it looks like...
look, there's a zap in Williams' deck, so he always had that chance to draw that zap.
He did. Wow, that is interesting. That's crazy. It looks like Lionizer here just trying to put as much damage as possible on his Cliffjumper.
But, Lionizer does not have any attack.
Nope.
Okay, so he didn't have a weapon engrave already from Wheeljack's.
For Wheeljack. So if he'd done that, he probably would have just sent the
Wheeljack.
To get rid of Cliffjumper.
Exactly.
Absolutely, and Wheeljack's already damaged, so...
Right.
So now, Kevin's untapped with the Cliffjumper in card mode. So that means that all of these untap effects are live. You can really just start to snowball against William as a result.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's got a Turbo Boosters in hand.
Yeah, usually in these kind of matches, when you see a car go into attack right off the bat, especially someone as beefy as Wheeljack, like you said, it pretty much indicates that he does have an untap effect in hand and ready to go.
I gotta say, Kevin's deck is looking tailor-made to dismantle these Battlemaster card decks.
Absolutely. And like I said, the fact that it's 4-wide really allows him so much extra potential with really making sure that he chooses the right character to attack and making his opponent have to attack back into that same character.
This is a really powerful list that we have not seen in any of the Transformers Open events yet. So.
Absolutely. The other thing that's really interesting about Turbo Boosters and Start Your Engines, a lot of people assume that when the car untaps that it attacks right away, it looks like he's going to be probably leaving Cliffjumper back here, but he might even just throw Cliffjumper out there again, but
he doesn't need to. Like a lot of players, they'll do it right away. Sometimes that's a good idea because you want to make sure you get their value before they might get hit by a burn spell or something. But he's got health. He's got 4 health left on that, so it's outside of the range of any burn spell.
Absolutely. It was easy for him to get in a bunch of really early damage and then now just protect that Cliffjumper more.
Well, yeah, when you've got the character advantage, if you can use these effects to really force your opponent to spread their damage, that just means it takes longer for them to KO one of your characters, which means you keep that advantage even longer.
So it looks like he did flip the Prowl this turn to give all of his cards Bowl 2 and then played the Reckless Charge on the Red Alert and is sending him into Lionizer. And this should be enough.
This is a pretty bad flip. It's about as bad as it could
force
get.
fields on a flip.
So 1 orange. That said, it's still
So
a good
it's
chunk of
8 damage, which leaves that Lionizer
Oh my gosh.
on health.
With 2,
It leaves him with 2 health.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a really unfortunate flip for Kevin there.
That was really unfortunate, but that gives William a much better chance than he would have had.
The other benefit is that now for William is that he knows that all 3 of those force fields are in the scrap pile, so Bolster now will be turned off essentially in this match.
A Piece Through Tyranny could be really strong here. Getting rid of the Lionizer, KOing the Red Alert, and on the next turn, maybe KOing the Prowl with the Red Alert.
Oh, he did just draw a Piece Through Tyranny off the top with that cliff jump, with that Wheeljack trigger.
Effect, which allows you to draw a card, then scrap a card from your hand, so it gave him some selection. Now he has an opportunity to KO that Prowl before it ever gets an attack in.
Yeah, I think him going for that Piece Through Tyranny turn here is actually really important. I think this is the play for him to do it, because it'll be easy for him to be able to KO that Red Alert and then be able to attack any character that he wants.
I think that's absolutely true. Now, we can't forget he's still got that RC down there. So
yes, he does.
Kevin's got an embarrassment of riches.
Yes.
But I would say that might be William's best chance.
I think so too, and like I said, to be able to take out that Red Alert and then possibly, it looks like he is going for that play. He's going to be able to put that onto Wheeljack, which is really awesome, and it's still going to trigger his ability, allow him to draw 1 and scrap 1.
So Piece Through Tyranny, really powerful card. It's got 2 orange icons, and it allows you to KO one of your own characters. It's a steep price. A character with 6 or more stars, and if you do so, you get an extra turn after this. And we've found in set 3 that could be a really powerful combo with the Battle Masters, because when they're KO'd, they become really powerful weapons.
Yep, absolutely. And then you also get to be able to use them twice without your opponent really being able to respond to them. So he is looking through his scrap pile here, probably seeing how many
what blues are left.
Yep, absolutely. But like I said, yeah, this is going to be a really big turn for William here. If he can pull it off and happen to KO the Red Alert and the RC, he's going to be in a pretty good spot.
Well, William is just, he's trying to figure out what does he have, how can he get through this game, through all the characters he's got, and still make it through.
Oh, I do see there that William did board in photon bombs for this matchup.
For the wide matchup. Okay.
Being able to do 2 damage to each character, doing 8 damage obviously to Kevin, and then only being able to do 6 damage to himself.
And or even 4 if that Battle Master is gone, or it can KO the Battle Master.
Yeah, absolutely, which is always actually a good thing, which is really interesting.
And then a turbo
boosters.
boosters.
So a turbo boosters in the turn.
That was the perfect play.
So it looks like he's probably going to be throwing, I would imagine he's going to be throwing Cliff Jumper back here, but he might throw the Wheeljack in and leave his Cliff Jumper back just for protection. Wow. That was a really, really big play.
Huge. This is just a display of really powerful car effects.
And this is just crazy card advantage just in general. He's been able to draw 3 cards within the last 2 turns off of 2 Wheeljack triggers and then off of the Cliff Jumper trigger, which is a lot of cards. Cliff Jumper will allow you
to draw a card when you flip one of your cards to bot mode, and then Wheeljack, whenever you upgrade one of your cars, you get to filter a card from you. You get to loot. It's great. Yeah. He's got to see exactly what he needs, because that's what he needs to be able to beat this game with the advantage that Kevin had.
Yeah. He's got to try to make up as much lost ground as possible. So it'll be interesting to see what he sends Wheeljack into here.
All right, we're bringing Stefan back after a little break.
I am back.
And what happened,
water.
Stefan?
You missed quite a turn of events there.
Oh no, what happened?
So a Lionizer barely survived an attack, and then William played a Piece Through Tyranny on that, and then got a turbo booster to untap the Cliff Jumper on his next turn.
Powerful turns, love it.
And then Kevin flipped on his attack. He flipped all 3 of his force fields on his attack.
Wow.
The Lionizer survived because he flipped 4 white cards and a blue card, and then 1 single orange card for his attack.
Orange.
Wow.
So it's a little risky to have the mixes sometimes.
Right.
It's helped Kevin as much, or more so than it's hurt him, I'd say.
Definitely.
But it comes up.
Is all 8 of those damage counters on Wheeljack? Cliff Jumper's fully untouched?
Cliff Jumper is fully healed and untapped.
And
nice.
RC's gone now.
Yeah, he was able to finish off Red Alert and then untap and then go into RC with his second turn.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he was able to make up a lot of ground.
Bowl 7 twice. Turn. Yeah, that's pretty powerful.
I'm not entirely sure why he chose RC over the Prowl. I think the Prowl has more damage ability right here and can be untapped. But
yeah, I think he has enough damage on board at this point to be able to KO pretty much any character that he needs to. And RC, just because she has that Pierce, his armor on William's side is actually pretty relevant. And if you're able to take away that armor, but we do see an Erratic Lightning on the Cliff Jumper, which does reduce that armor by 1 as well. So
RC is always a potent threat if you have the opportunity to take her out.
Yeah,
absolutely,
for sure, definitely.
People usually see her and just go for her.
So Kevin is thinking a lot has happened since he last passed the turn. Right?
Yes, it has been a lot.
He passed the turn with a pretty he attacked thinking he had a really nice advantage, and then suddenly he's untapped. And
It does look like he's digging for something though, because he did look through his scrap pile first and then chose to play the confidence. So he's definitely trying to find something specific.
Maybe a bolster into a force field. Always a powerful.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you say all 3 force fields were milled earlier?
Yeah, maybe that's why he checked.
Yeah.
He only needs to deal how much here? 8 or 9 total.
He's got to be able to do 8.
8 damage. Yeah, he has 8 health level, 1 defense, so he has to hit 9.
Yep. Which it looks like he's definitely
8.
That's
he's
8.
Just got 8 or 7.
I think he has 1 from.
He does have 1 from Red Alert because that is 1 car in the KO area.
Oh yes, correct. So he's got 8.
Yep. So it is enough to get the job done on the Wheeljack there.
He was very damaged at that.
He already had 7 damage on him.
So it's if Cliff Jumper takes out the opposing Cliff Jumper, it's going to be Prowl versus Cliff Jumper. Prowl will need a lot of help to be able to KO a fully healthed Cliff Jumper.
We did see in Kevin's hand there that he does have a grenade launcher, so we know that he already has access to. He already has 8 damage with being able to flip Prowl next turn on board, which is it's a really good start.
Right.
And then again, that Erratic Lightning takes away 1 armor, so it might make a difference.
Well, he does have a bashing shield, so he's going to go back up, so that's going to help.
Yeah, that'll mitigate that -1.
Yeah, it looks like he might have a. No, okay. I thought he might have had a power punch. He's got random speeds. Because it might have been worth getting rid of that Erratic Lightning.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But, the +1 defense is going to help just as much. The bolsters he was looking for. Oh, with Scrap, maybe you want Scrapper.
Maybe you want a Scrapper Gauntlets to be able to
get
rid of that.
Did William do a flip for the turn?
William did not do a flip for the turn.
Yeah, because the Cliff Jumper would have 6 attack if he flipped it because Wheeljack's in alt mode.
Yeah. Absolutely. So it looks like a misplay.
Yeah, it looks like he did.
Possibly, but I think he still gets there anyway.
But
still.
It's not going to cost the Cliff Jumper.
Right. Thank goodness.
We'll see if he remembers it on the next turn.
Yeah, very true. He might not be aware at all. That's true.
Yeah, the other combo we were just talking about there was Bolster with Scrapper Gauntlets. Bolster obviously allows you to be able to play that armor from your hand. Well, this is going to be a lot
of
pieces of the puzzle. Supercharged.
So he has to get to 12?
Let's see if William can flip those force fields again.
12, 13?
I think that's it.
Oh, and no blues. Wait, but he's got 2 defense, right?
He has 2 defense, so I think he lives at 1.
He lives at 1. Cliff Jumper lives at 1.
Yeah, because that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's 13 damage. He lives at 1.
Oh, wow, he really does live at 1. Look at that.
Yeah.
I thought
a white icon or a double orb.
That bashing shield play was very smart for him to do that to increase that defense back.
Yep, that 2
very good on
was
him.
Very relevant.
And he's going to recount a little bit because let's make sure you're at 1.
That
about to win the tournament. Let's recount.
That 1.
Absolutely.
Isn't that something?
All right, so they'll untap all the characters.
He has a lot of cards in his hand.
And it's hard to see William not winning on this turn.
And there it is. He did remember. So
Yep. Looks like William is going to be forced into game 3 here. So
we're gonna go
as long as his flips are decent.
Oh,
I think at that point he still gets them though. He does
10, 11, 12. Yeah.
9, he's got 10 so far.
Probably needs to flip 2
oh, wait,
blues.
it's only 10. It's only 10.
It's only 10. No, he has 1.
No, yes, it should be 12.
Oh, okay.
One thing last turn I think what we missed is that he chose not to flip Cliff Jumper last turn because he flipped Wheeljack, so Cliff Jumper can get +1 on this attack.
Right.
Okay,
exactly.
So you did miss it.
Yeah. And that was enough to get it done, and it sends it into game 3.
Might have done it the reverse so that.
Right.
Wow.
All right.
That was a crazy game.
Going
for
to
William.
game 3.
Going to game 3. What a finals! I was going to say that's perfect. Yep.
That was a crazy game too for William there.
Clearly, cars are the tribe of the event today, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
They took over, and they were all over the preliminaries. Even honestly, Origins they were pretty all over the place as well.
Seeing some nice blue cars, some interesting
decks. Yeah. Shout out to David Pang with his deck.
Yeah, he went undefeated day 1 for William.
Yep. I know I enjoy playing blue for 4 wild cards myself. I have since sent one, but it's a little bit different now.
I'm actually going to look into that myself. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's a lot out there you can still left to explore. And what's going to happen after this event is these lists are going to get out there, and these are going to become the decks to beat.
It's going to get even. It's
Absolutely.
going to
And
get
you're
even
going to have
crazier.
opportunities to come up with strategies that can deal with these.
Yeah, a lot of people were waiting for this event to even start to see where the meta began, and at
Right.
this point is where things start to get really
And this
shaken
starts
up.
it, right.
And people are going to like these decks, make it additions to them, and then people are going to build decks to beat these decks. So it's going to be
Definitely.
it's going to be a fun ride for the next couple of months.
So just waiting for the camera here to get a top-down view.
One thing we did see William bring in while you were gone as well is that William brought in photon bombs from the sideboard.
Oh, okay. He
yeah.
did play it, so he actually did decide to put him in. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, because there's 4 opposing characters, and if you can use it to finish off a character like a plasma burst,
Right.
then it's super powerful.
Very strong.
Just get some extra damage on all those other characters.
So we see here that Cliff Jumper, or Kevin went first and sent Cliff Jumper into Wheeljack to get those extra 5, which probably shows that he has an untap effect in hand, and we can see that he does have a Start Your Engines, I think. No,
But this was the same plan he did last time.
time.
It sounds like William made Kevin go first in the last game, but Kevin still stubbornly said,
He did.
I'm going to go first.
Yep.
Again, even though it didn't work out, and that was what
Absolutely.
you wanted me to do, I'm
Right.
going to show you that it's not the right idea.
Absolutely. Getting erratic lightning here on this Lionizer, getting in for big damage
Oh
on this
my
Cliff Jumper.
gosh.
He is flipping his deck
2,
there.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Maybe 10 looks like.
And
9
he,
and 10.
And he flipped 2 oranges on defense, so he's going to be taking a lot of damage.
Yeah.
All right, so he took
Still not in one
so it
shot
looks like
range,
there's-
though.
Oh,
Keeps-
he had erratic lightning on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's escaping that one-shot stand range, so that's good for him.
Yeah,
That's
how
good
does
for
he keep
Kevin.
doing that?
Yeah.
Getting very lucky.
And photon bomb range.
And yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
You know what?
Yep.
Very true. Yep. Oh, but he does have an
So
untap
there's going
effect
to be
this
Start Your
time.
Engines.
Oh,
That's
Giving
going to be
bolt two to
powerful.
He's gonna get
everybody.
a little extra
The red
bolt
alert, too. That is so good.
So he's going to keep Cliff Jumper from getting KO, just like we said. We make
Yep.
him spread damage so that you can continue to leverage your character
Right.
advantage.
Exactly. And then, again, one-shot stand doesn't KO him, which is nice.
Wow,
Throws
able to
on
play
a
that
force field to
there.
make sure he needs to answer that.
That is so strong.
Which is also works really nicely with the 0 defense side of Red Alert.
Oh,
right?
it works out for him fantastic.
Oh,
So Lionizer lost the defense, but he will still survive by one, looks like.
Yeah, they were just tapping the Start Your Engines. There was that 1 damage that
Yeah.
missed to be able to
So
KO.
So sometimes it helps you, like it did game 1 and helped him live. Now it kind of helped him, or he missed killing the Lionizer there.
hurt him, leaving him alive.
There's a lot of drama in those sporadic blue icons.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of the fun of this game, though. It's just the random of what you could possibly flip. It completely changes the math all
Definitely.
the time.
But always just kind of on the margins, right?
Absolutely,
Just
yep.
changes the last couple damage.
Yep. Always makes you decide if you want to throw in that reckless charge or not.
Yep.
Looks like we're getting that mounted missile on Cliff Jumper here, allowing him to draw
Oh.
off the Wheeljack.
Oh, and then he drew.
He drew a,
He drew
but
Beast of
it's not
Tyranny
that strong
and-
in that situation because of the force field on the red alert. Unfortunately, the
Yeah.
Beast
Yeah,
of Tyranny
because
play.
he won't be
He
able
was-
to KO, and
but
then he
he
won't
was-
be able to then attack
Yeah.
and KO an untapped
Right.
character,
He
which
was
is what
most
happened in the last game.
He was most likely digging for a ramming speed or something in that situation to be able to get it off.
Yep, and it's too late for that now. But
So he played his action and upgrade this turn though, so there's definitely no room to get rid of the force field except for
Yeah.
by
Nope.
attacking.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
for
So
sure, force
he has to
field
put
is
2
gonna save
attacks
Red
into
Alert,
the red alert.
which
Which is probably his
honestly
intention
not,
of taking the
not
extra turn.
great, right?
Yeah,
This I would say is of Kevin's benefit. That force field, just like we were talking
Oh, yeah,
about,
definitely.
how in wave
Yeah.
1 really
Right.
can turn the tide more than a lot of other cards.
Well, now
have a
Kevin's going
chance
to be able to get 3 attacks back into
mean-
William after this.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! And if he's
Unless
got
he
a-
has an untap effect, he'll probably untap possibly Wheeljack again. But even then, this
Yeah.
I honestly don't think he should have played
That's
Peace
true. He
that
might
turn
be
either.
able-
But
I don't
it's
think so
possible
either.
Yeah.
he might not have. He looked at it. He was like, "This is what won me last time." We better
Yeah.
Yeah.
forgetting that the force field was on the other side.
Yeah.
right.
But if
I mean, the thing about it here is if he does have an untap effect for next turn, he'll still at least have 1 character untapped, and it does allow him to continue his
Right.
Yes,
his
it
assault.
does.
But
And maybe he has a
Yes.
plan. Maybe because we don't see
He's
his
got
whole
a lot
hand,
of
he could
chance
have
to
force
draw.
field, and then
Yeah.
it forces Kevin to have a Bastion Shield, etc.
he's got a lot of draw coming as well.
Right.
So
Yep.
he's,
Yep.
Yeah, that
he can
power.
just get into it, even
Right.
if he doesn't have it yet. Maybe
Exactly.
his best chance is to.
And it's one of the biggest powers with card lists in general is the fact that they're able to put out so much damage and then untap and kind
Right.
of protect themselves.
And then Wheeljack being able to sift through your deck every time you get an upgrade lets you get through your deck. Cliff Jumper draws
Yep.
you cards, so you're definitely
mean,
just
some-
burning through your deck
Just
for your good
zooming-
cards.
Zooming through the
Yeah.
deck.
Yep, pun intended.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw in the last game when William was able to draw 3 cards in a turn off of Wheeljack and Cliffjumper. So he definitely has access to being able to see a lot of cards on his list.
What is he?
Okay, that's what we were just talking about. He does have the force field. So no untapped effect just yet. He has a chance to still draw Start Your Engines at least.
Yep.
Potentially.
So the thing about the force field here, since he doesn't have an untapped, well, he might have Start Your Engines. I think we might have saw it in his hand even.
Oh, he does have it.
He
Oh,
does
wow.
have the Start Your Engines.
That's perfect.
So he really needs that because otherwise he's not able to force Kevin to attack his force field.
Right.
Yep. And then again, we're seeing him draw 3 cards again off of this double Wheeljack proc, and then to be able to get Cliffjumper, and then he's going to be able to send Wheeljack in here. The one thing he has to be worried about, though, is if opponent does have a
I wonder, does it even
shield.
have to bother sending Wheeljack? But I guess he needs to kill.
Yeah,
Right.
I am a little surprised.
I don't think I would have thrown Wheeljack.
Yeah, I think
there.
Cliffjumper should have went. Yeah, too. Yep.
Again, if he has a Bashing Shield in hand, then the Wheeljack's going to get KO'd and it's going to be just down to Cliffjumper.
But then again, have we seen Kevin play a Bashing Shield?
I did see
Yes.
one get
Oh,
flipped.
yeah, he's
I did
playing
see
it.
one get flipped. So I don't know if he picked it up or not.
So he's like, get rid of that red alert, get rid of that common starter deck card with no text.
The vanilla
Imagine
doing a
that.
lot of work here.
And there's the Bashing
Yeah, see,
Shield.
there is the Bashing
Yep.
Shield in hand, which is why I was
I
saying.
think he had it like this entire time,
yeah,
too.
I
Yeah.
don't think throwing Wheeljack there was
Yeah,
the play.
maybe he even showed it to William by picking up with its speed battle icon.
Yeah. Which obviously is very unfortunate for William.
A
here.
card I'm already thinking about adding to my card deck is like a thing like Espionage to like potentially take your Bashing Shield and then play my force field comfortably, then go attack.
I main deck 2 Espionages the entire time.
Nice. I had one and I took it out, but I'm thinking definitely got to think I want to add one
It
back.
did a lot of work for me this
For sure.
weekend.
So Bashing Shield, a great answer
Right.
to Force Field, which is a great answer to large attacks. But
Or even more.
Espionage,
It's a great
we're gonna
answer.
answer the ramming speed.
Yep.
Right.
Got all these answers to answers.
Even more importantly, take their piece of tyranny if you want. Call orange, and you have potential to take their piece, or
All sorts of options.
so.
All right, flip the prowl. Has he
Speaking
used
of.
an action yet?
He has not played any actions or upgrades yet for this.
Okay, so he might be able to
He's doing the correct thing by flipping a character to draw a card and just try to see as many options as possible before the turn.
Absolutely. You don't want to do it and then kick yourself.
Now he himself does have access to a piece of your tyranny turn here.
Oh, very interesting. I gotta say though, I feel like I'd attack with RC.
Is that Supercharged that he played, I think?
I think RC is probably.
I do think no, he still has a supercharge in hand. So.
He played. I could have sworn he played something next to the Cliffjumper, though,
Yeah.
that we
Never
can't
mind.
see.
I guess Cliffjumper probably has
We'll
the
see
best
how many flips
chance
here.
of
So it was a
KOing
super-
here.
Okay, but I think he had 2 Supercharged.
And he has the best chance of KOing that Wheeljack, so
So
that makes a lot of
that's,
sense.
that's 10 damage getting it on the Wheeljack, so it's going to get the job done.
And you want to do that before passing it to William and giving him a chance to untap that Wheeljack.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, Cliffjumper stands alone.
Yeah, this one's looking pretty rough for William now.
And, you know, a very similar game to the last one, but just a couple key cards.
Yep. So there's another force
Oh,
field.
another
for
force
William,
field.
which is
Wow, that's
really
gonna help.
nice.
Oh,
That's going to be able to help him out a lot.
Def-
That does
Definitely.
give him a chance here.
Now his opponent does get 2 attacks back into it
Right.
though, so if he can proc the force field the first attack and then finish
And
him off
then
with
break
the
it
second
off.
attack.
Right. Now I wonder if that mounted missiles is in the weapon slot or the up in the utility slot, because I know per the rules, technically the weapon goes to the left, utility in the middle, armor to the right. But I don't know if
That's
they're
true.
playing that way.
And-
But I am curious where the mounted missiles is.
Yeah, that's true because William is playing both utilities and armors, so
Yes.
it's not
Yep.
a clear choice.
Yep.
And
I would also imagine the fact that there's a force field there, he probably played it in the utility slot.
Yeah, most likely, which
Most
is the
likely.
ideal. Right.
Yes.
yeah, I mean, if
So
you're
he-
if you're gonna get a chance to play a turbo booster on the character, it would be worth replacing the
Yeah,
missile.
I mean, he does have supercharge here as well, so he's going to be able to get in for a lot of damage this turn. He can flip Prowl, get Bolt 2 on Prowl, hopefully proc the force field with Prowl, and then supercharge RC to try to finish the deal.
Well, doesn't he have
Okay.
heated battle? Heated battle would be even better in this situation.
Oh yeah,
wouldn't
he
it?
does have heated
Yeah.
battle.
He
Yeah.
does have.
He has 2 heated
Yeah.
battles, so that makes this.
This is very interesting. I would say, so after taking 4 from the force field, that's going to leave Cliffjumper with 8 health and 2
Mhm.
defense. So that means RC has to do 8,
Yeah.
which is hot. That's
Well,
a lot.
I mean, it's entirely
It's a
possible
lot with only
to,
both
to,
3.
to throw heated battle and throw RC first, who's pretty
Yes.
much guaranteed to break the
But
force
then,
field.
That's
in
true.
which case, Prowl will have to do 10, which is still. If
'Cause that
you-
2
if you
defense
just
will-
hit single oranges, is 1 less.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
If Kevin had a weapon this turn, that
So
would have
it looks
definitely
like
helped.
he's going with the Prowl swing first.
Okay, which I'm not sure about that.
I don't know. I mean, like you said, it is 1 more damage that this way he's going to have to put out, and that 1 damage it might be relevant.
That was a crazy.
Made him flip a lot of his double oranges. Yeah.
That said, though, William is in a rough spot, regardless of what happens here.
He was very lucky that Kevin did not have an upgrade for this turn. He only had access to actions, and that's really going to help him out.
Wait, 10? What's going on here?
Wait.
I don't know what they're showing. 10. He's showing how much? No.
He shouldn't have 10. He should only be at 4.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe he was calling
I was like, whoa.
I thought maybe he was calling a shot. He was like, you're going to put me to 11?
Yeah,
you're going to put me in this game?
That'd be a bold call.
That'd been pretty interesting. All right, so he also did flip a white, which is going to allow RC to flip 2 more cards here.
Yep. But only up to 4 right now. 5, 6, 7. See?
That was close. 7.
Just what I was thinking might happen.
Yep.
Would leave him with.
So he really did put him to 11.
Yep. Should have called that shot.
You should.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I'm sure.
Again,
I'd be nervous in this situation.
Absolutely.
If I were,
But again, if he would have attacked with RC first, Prowl would have gotten the job done there.
Oh yes, exactly.
Yep.
That play, Kevin could have took the game right then and there.
Yep.
Either way, though, as you guys can see, Prowl with RC, they're both untouched. So
this game is pretty much wrapped up for Kevin.
Yeah, there's essentially nothing that he can do.
Even if he manages to one-shot one of these characters, he still has to worry about a character coming back. And
if he had something like an emergency maintenance,
and
then took out the Prowl, and then
try to work it out that way. Yeah, because the other bad part about this is taking out RC, who has the Pierce, but Prowl's going to be able to flip this turn and give himself pull 2.
Yeah.
And then we can see that he's got a supercharge in hand, so he's going to be throwing out, or even.
I do have to say, Cliff Jumper in his bot mode, as you can see, he's going down as he's shooting. This is it's very
very fitting, and we got ourselves a winner.
Absolutely, Kevin Allen
taking game 3.
He's very determined. I watched him this whole weekend. He played in multiple events, even though I think he qualified earlier. But he just wanted to keep getting his practice and his game up on par.
Gen Con 2019 champion.
And additionally, Kevin's the guy that took you out, right, Stefan?
No, William. William was. William did. Yep.
What's always nice when the person takes you out in the finals.
Yeah,
so,
right. Yeah.
That's always good.
Exactly.
So Kevin Allen is going to be
very happy for
champion.
both players.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, getting second, that's absolutely. I mean, when you get to the finals, only one person can win.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
And he did. And honestly, I have to brag up William a little bit. This is his second tournament of any TCG ever.
Wow.
That's
Origins
impressive.
was his first. I played him at Origins actually, and then he got his revenge on me here. And then his second tournament ever. So
that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty good accomplishment for your second tournament.
We really like to see new players come into TCGs because they're big Transformers fans. You can't. If you're a Transformers fan, it's really hard to get away from this, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the game itself was enough to bring me back into trading card games, and the fact that it was wrapped up with Transformers on top of that was just
makes it
just the icing on the cake. Absolutely.
So I got to say, I've been talking about this with a lot of people all weekend, and like the envy I would have if that trophy was bigger than mine.
Was bigger than yours?
I'm glad it's the same size. I gotta just say that.
It's the same size. Yep.
Now the invitational one, I expect that to be like ridiculous. So we'll see.
We'll see what
your
happens
hands
at the invitational.
Yeah, I got you.
In December.
December, yep.
December
6th, like the early December, right?
It's early
December. Before the year ends, but it's going to be about a month after Set 4 comes out to change the metagame.
Yeah, so we have a little.
So we have to explore a whole new wave right before another big tournament. So.
And I like that though, because we set the meta as we go.
Absolutely.
Wave 1, for Origins, we had a lot of time to practice in tournaments and everything for Wave 1 and 2.
Yep, absolutely.
And now, so we have a little drought though for tournaments. Seems like
a little bit, but that's what your local store tournaments are for.
Very true.
Like get your local stores to run them. A lot of 2,000 different stores have the opportunity to run qualifiers for the event in December.
Yeah.
And they just need to do it before the end of September, so that can kind of fill some of that.
Okay.
Some of that.
Well, not to mention we're going to be exploring a lot of these decks, trying to make them better, and also things that are going to beat them to see what's going to carry over into Wave 4. And we also did just get Blaster versus Soundwave, so there's always exploration with those.
And it looks like we're going to bring up Kevin, talk with him a little bit.
Sounds good.
See how things went.
You're going to move? All right.
All right. Perfect. Let's wedge Kevin.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're playing musical chairs. Give us a second.
There we go. All right, we got Kevin at the end.
Oh, okay.
And we've wired in the screen.
All right, we're all on screen now. That's awesome.
Thanks.
All right, Kevin.
Shake your hand, man.
Yes, absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How's it feel?
All right.
I'll wait for this
Honestly, tired.
Yeah.
I mentioned that I've been watching you all weekend, but you've been focused and you've been playing your deck, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yes. Sorry, I'm not even sure what the question is in there.
No, not a question. I just want to reiterate that you played your own deck and you ran it throughout the event to the finals and finished.
Yes,
Right.
and I mean, for what it's worth, that's important to me. I want to play something that's fun and what I enjoy. I know a lot of people patrol, they scout the meta, they adjust their decks. Barring a fun one in the second event after I had qualified, I played the same deck because it's what I brought to play with. I didn't watch any other games. I tweaked like 3 cards in my sideboard, and that was about it. I found something that worked that I loved to play, and that did it.
So
Nice.
So I've talked to you a little bit about the red alert, right?
Yes.
So what made you want to stick with this deck besides building it yourself?
So, credit where it's due. I picked up the character lineup from a woman in Las Vegas who kicked our tails when we were at TFCon.
What?
Oh, excellent!
wow.
You know what?
Look at
I
that.
think I saw a picture of that.
Yes.
Okay.
So the deck is mine. I didn't pull her deck, but I've looked at other options, and if you want to stay 4 wide, none of the cards are as good.
Absolutely.
He hits hard. He tends to die fast, but he's a great sacrificial lamb. And just I don't feel like any of them can put out the same damage output, which has been key with him throughout.
And he's
Nice.
pretty tanky. He's got 12 effective health, which is right outside of that Optimus Prime 11, that
Yes.
key number,
Yeah.
right?
And then 5 base damage.
Yes, and it made a big deal for me. I mean, there were more than a couple of times when I had to softball into a Battle Master, and being able to have that lower attack and keep that 2 armor ended up being pretty clutch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very nice.
What
Very nice.
What were your thoughts when you were battling against William? We noticed that you were not focusing on the Battle Master. Sometimes that's what you need to do to win the game.
Yes, it's always a tough call. I tend to softball Battle Masters, even Lionizer, and he bit me with the piece of charity
Yeah.
fight on more than one occasion. But I also feel like I can absorb that to a certain extent because of the width of my
Yes,
deck.
absolutely.
Four characters,
I know where it's going to land. And so sometimes I kill it, sometimes I don't. If I can kill it, I will, but I won't generally waste attacks against it if I can put them into a bigger target. Like the last game there, I went big on it early, and I left him at 1 health short, and hated that, but it happens.
Yeah, you didn't intend on that.
No, that was not the plan. He was supposed to die on that swing.
Yeah.
So,
That's usually how it works.
yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Do you have anything that you want to talk about the tournament, or you're playing Transformers or anything like that?
Do you have a bad matchup or anything like that? with the deck, or-
It's, honestly, Vince's blaster gave me fits. He's the one who beat me in the last game of the qualifier and just about knocked me out. I snuck in on strength of schedule, and we had a rematch today, and it was equally intense, and I snuck it out. So, Blaster is easily, he's a real thing.
He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
real powerful
Yep.
thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Looks like we're closing up.
Okay.
The event's over. We're happy to talk to you, Kevin. Thanks very much.
Wonderful.
But congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on your win.
Thanks
Thank
so
you
much
for playing.
for-
Thank you for
Thank
running
you.
all this. Thank
Yeah.
you for building a great game,
Yeah.
and for everything you guys do keeping it out.
All right.
Awesome.
Excellent.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks.
Congratulations.